I did not realize the picture that he was showing was a young Roberto Mancini. Hugh Wizzy, you're a G. What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video. I apologize for the audio noise. It is my central air in this new apartment. It's gonna be there. So if it messes with the sound just a little bit, once again, apologies for that. But today we are back with another video. We're going to take a look at the worst of England fans. This is not necessarily a video actually with showing the actions of England fans. We are actually going to listen to one of, I don't exactly know what he's all into, but one of my favorite YouTubers is Hugh Wizzy. Man keeps it real. He's so down to earth, chill, kind of keeps things focused front and center. He's an Arsenal fan, but a very knowledgeable Arsenal fan. So actually really helpful in sort of the way that he explains how things go. But yeah, we're gonna, you guys can let me know what you guys think, or if you guys agree with him, disagree with him. Definitely go check out his original video as well. It's very in-depth, very thoughtful. And yeah, we're gonna take a look at it. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video just down in the description below. Should be, yeah, I think this should be, at least for my knowledge, this will be actually really helpful, because it helps me understand the English fan perspective of like England versus the entirety of Europe that wanted Italy to win in the Euros. Yeah, it kind of helps a lot. But yeah, let's do it. Did not expect some piano music.
Authors, Terry Pratchett, said, the thing about football is...
Nice cup of Joe in the morning.
Really about football. Like Terry, football has a wonderful way of telling us so many stories, teaching us so many lessons, and of course, you learn so much more in defeat.
Spitting facts.
In the 1992 European Cup final, Johan Cruyff's Barcelona side took on a Sampdoria side with two lethal strikers up top who become known as the Goal Twins. I'm not going to do the Italian version. The game ended 1-0. It was Barcelona's first Champions League trophy, and the current manager, Ronald Koeman, scored the winner with one of his trademark free kicks. While Pep Guardiola and the Spanish celebrated, Italy mourned, and nearly 30 years later, on the same pitch, Gianluca Violi and Roberto Mancini, losers.
I did not realize the picture that he was showing was a young Roberto Mancini. Hugh Wizzy, you're a G. That blows my mind. Oh my god. I said we were going to do a video on the story of Roberto Mancini and what is it, Gianluca? What did they say?
We're together again at Wembley on Sunday. Amidst a sea
Wow.
of emotions, as the cyclical nature of life threw them the ultimate chance at redemption as manager and coaching staff of Italy. Without pain, there's no joy. Without light, there is no dark. And for every winner, there must be a victor. And so, the conflict...
That is so fair. Bro, the way that this man just brought this story up, it was phenomenal. This is why Hugh Wizzy's one of my favorites, man. I mean, it deserves more views as well, but oh my goodness, what a way to introduce a story. And what a way to sort of wrap it all up in a nice little bow. There must be a winner. There must be a loser. It's the way that the sport, and it's the way that life works. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I love this. I love every bit of this.
If Southgate's whole career has been overshadowed by one missed penalty and a Pizza Hut advert, to be able to lead the country to the final of a major international competition at Wembley, and for it to be decided by penalties,
It can't write
seems to
itself.
be the perfect way for life to complete the cycle.
Unless I'm mistaken. Thank you, miss. Come on, Gareth, it only took me 6 years to get over it. Thanks a lot, boys. I feel much better now.
Was it perhaps even more poetic that Southgate,
That was rough.
scarred for life by his own miss, would himself be charged with the task of selecting the penalty takers of England's next most devastating defeat? There'll be people that will make this about the football, about how you got it wrong again. And
I kind of did that already. I did kind of mention that.
The substitutions and tactics and the choice of penalty takers, but here is a man who has brought together and led the England team to the very brink, not once, but twice. These are the facts.
I did not even think about the story of Gareth Southgate with that, bro. I kind of want England to win the World Cup in 2022 just to complete the... I mean, you could find stories like this, though, for anybody. Like the US, for example, which there will be a video, my video, coming out on this very soon, on us missing the 2018 World Cup and how it sort of created this urgency for the US to actually get better at the sport. Like the fact that a young Pulisic, a young McKennie, a young Adams, those types of guys who are now stars for not only their respective European clubs, but also the U.S. men's national team, to then bring to light, like, it made them need advancements. It made the U.S. in general need advancements. And now American players are spread out throughout Europe, throughout the world, and are just thriving in the sporting aspect of it, in the entire sporting aspect of it. It's like a nice little wrapped bow. And this is just from my perspective. And England can sort of have it the same way. Like Gareth Southgate has gone through it as a player and as a manager. And everyone rejoiced in the 2018 World Cup when England finally got over that hump of getting through a penalty shootout at a major international tournament to then lose to Croatia in devastating fashion. And then to lose the Euro final in the same penalty fashion. Like, that's unbelievable how it all sort of ties full circle.
For that, I am really thankful, because twice
the man has gone through it
in recent times we've seen this country united like never.
Yeah.
With people dreaming and sharing a common goal. People don't watch football all invested. People of all backgrounds who can see a little bit of themselves in this diverse squad of players. Gone are the days of fame-hungry wags and club rivalries ruining what chance we once had with a golden generation. And in have stepped these well-mannered, intelligent, socially conscious players who've done so much more than football. From donations to pledges to build hospitals overseas, to feeding the country's poverty-stricken kids, to standing up for what they believe in, while grotesquely overweight politicians waste taxpayers' money giving contracts to university mates, tweeting pictures of themselves supporting England like they weren't telling fans to boo the players last month.
So the England fans are right to boo?
Well, that's a choice for them, quite frankly.
This tournament's been another chance for people to realign, for people from all walks of life to see that they can actually share a common goal, and we're not all that different to each other.
I love this. This is amazing.
But who is actually this country's real leader?
That is fair. It's a fair statement.
Is he a man who has continually brought the country together, or a man at the head of the government who seems hell-bent on tearing us apart?
And remaining in power while doing it.
Mistakes along the way. But the thing about football is it's not really about the football. Life came full circle for Southgate after extra time as he selected the England players who take the penalties. First Rashford, then Sancho, both subbed on in the 120.
Which was, that was rough. Okay, I even said that in my actual live reaction at the pub watching the game. Subbing them on the 120th minute is not the right call, but the call had to be made. Like, it had to be made. Imagine if they all make it. Imagine if they all make those penalties. Gareth Southgate is then held as a legend, as an icon, as a mastermind. But they just didn't. It just didn't work that way, and it's extremely unfortunate. But he made the call. That's the thing, is that, like, he took the initiative, he took the risk, and made that call. And I mean, brilliant of him.
Then Saka, a homegrown hero from Manchester, a South London icon who's just signed for Manchester United, and a straight-A student who is living out every kid's dream. These three are a shining example. Literally seconds after Donnarumma saved the penalty, the atmosphere of the whole country changed. A month of everybody dreaming, people who can't singing It's Coming Home at every available opportunity. People who never talk about football, talking to me about football. The whole feel-good spirit wiped away.
Because you knew what was coming. You knew it was coming. And it wasn't coming home, something else was coming.
A plastic ball. sent a flood of monkey emojis and banana of Rashford, where he grew up, was vandalised. You've got politicians and pricks, I mean, is there a difference? But using the loss as the chance to have a go at him for playing.
The law would be ungenerous. Just Rashford should have spent more time perfecting. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Bro, what is up with these people? It happens in the US here as well, though. Literally, if the man LeBron James says anything political, people bash him. People are on it. I mean, Colin Kaepernick actually is a perfect example. Stick to your sport. Like, you know, these athletes don't deserve their own voice in politics, blah, 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 blah. When, matter of fact, the president of the United States for 4 years, I mean, the man was a TV show host. He's an actor. Businessman as well, but actor.
Politics.
Like, they intersect. Everything intersects. You must know that.
Affecting his game. Well, Southgate has been the definitive modern leader, a pillar of solidarity, a calm but firm voice in the fight against racism, and stood by.
He has stood by his players through it all. He's amazing.
Just a few weeks ago, the leaders of this country, Boris Johnson and Priti Patel, both refused to condemn the booing of the players who took the knee. But here they are, shamelessly tweeting about how appalling the abuse is and telling racist fans that they should be ashamed of themselves. The irony is, of course, that these two same people are, without question, responsible for so much of the division in this country. This is the same Boris Johnson who commissioned an article arguing that black people have lower IQs, refused to sack a eugenicist, praised colonialism, said black kids scare him. Said Obama hated Churchill because he's part Kenyan, compared Muslim women to letterboxes, described Africans as pickaninnies with watermelon smiles, and stated that the problem with Africa is that Britain isn't in charge anymore. As with anything, the problem starts at the top.
Keep preaching, brother. Keep preaching.
Attacks on England's players are a direct reflection of the country. Football has a great way, actually, of showing.
That was one of the dumbest videos I've ever seen. My goodness. I mean, yeah, I do some dumb stuff when I get drunk, but like, what's the point in a man tossing up a cone in the middle of the street, probably used to protect something that was there for construction, and another man just headering it just because he's wasted? Like, that's just you know, I love drunk fans. Drunk fans are the funniest, but at the same time, they're the dumbest people ever.
Showing us exactly where we really stand as a society.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say this, but I've been to a few World Cups and Euros, and from what I've seen, while most countries' fans are celebrating, dancing, and enjoying being involved whilst creating an atmosphere that you just need to be around, they're not getting pissed from 8 a.m. and ripping the city to shreds. The sad thing is, if people get away with all this, nothing will have been learned. We don't need performative tweets from politicians. We need these people punished. England fans and football have got a real reputation, and if the 2030 World Cup bid is unsuccessful, the reasons why are going to be shockingly clear, because they were on show for the whole
It was so bad watching.
Waking up for the big day, plenty of people had their mind made up that they just weren't going to miss this one. Forget not having a ticket. Being there for the biggest day in 55 years of footballing history in this country was more important. Now, they've made statements saying they're investigating now, but Wembley officials tried to say only 150 people had got through and that none had got into the stadium, but the truth was very different.
A lot of them probably got in.
Saw others smashing past the barriers, and the whole thing looked like absolute madness.
Right.
Some people took matters.
I thought this was them beating up Italian fans, but yeah.
Easy to hear people screaming at security staff to do their job, but how many of you would actually risk being trampled to death for £8 an hour?
Nobody would.
The fact that people who'd paid up to $4 grand for a ticket couldn't get into their own seats is fucking outrageous. You've got 50-year-old men who'd taken their dads for the last hurrah, one last special day out to see the game of all games that they've probably been waiting their whole lives for. And truth be told, if there were old people there, they must have been panicking. whole families literally running for their lives to escape from the chaos. From what I can make out, about 10 to 15,000 people who didn't have tickets managed to get into the stadium.
Maybe that might be an outrageous number. 10 to 15K is a lot of people to sneak into a stadium. But I didn't even think about that part. Like, it's just, like, England fans, like, you did it to yourself. Like, you did all of this to yourself. Like, the 2030 World Cup bid is ironically probably going to go to a weird combination of Saudi Arabia and Italy. I don't know how that's going to happen, but they will probably as well steal the World Cup bid too. And England fans kind of did it. I mean, yeah, the Saudi Arabia money will probably be better. And yeah, do people want to go to Italy and Saudi Arabia more than England? Probably, yeah, because if England get knocked out, let's say in the group stage of the 2030 World Cup, it's going to be a nightmare to even be there. It's going to be a nightmare to be around. Whereas Italy, Saudi Arabia, they're just happy to host. They're just happy to have fun and enjoy it, and plus beautiful cities.
So that it just happened.
Of
course, then you've got the overcrowding and the fighting in the stadium as hundreds of paying fans were forced to try and watch the game from behind a sea of heads that weren't even supposed to be there. When Saka stepped up to take his penalty, I thought about how he'd only made his Arsenal debut at 17, how he was Arsenal's Player of the Year at 19.
Last season, yeah.
How incredible it is that he started for England in the semi-finals of Euro 2020. And how he stood there for a brief moment in front of 60 or probably 75,000 people with the whole country's mood swinging on the next kick of that plastic ball.
Big shout out Calvin Phillips. Big shout out Calvin Phillips.
And maybe we would never have known that Andrew Bone, a former commercial building manager at Savills, is a bona fide racist who claims that just after Saka's penalty he was out.
Wow.
And the hacker tweeted and then deleted the racist tweets that went out from his account.
Wow.
One penalty to define a nation, one goal to change the course of history, one save to expose a nation's racists. All the hate has only made me appreciate the squad even more.
That's so true. Every one of them is so risky.
So much hate has only made me appreciate the squad even more. Look at Saka, for example. I am so incredibly proud of him. Rashford, a pillar of his community. A man who took on the government for the greater good.
For the whole season. Literally what is it? Didn't Marcus Rashford, I think it was like over 30 plus goals and assists, chances created, etc. during the season. Just phenomenal. Like, phenomenal stats. Just had one of like his best seasons ever while continuing to fight for basic needs for children with his own government, fighting against his own government during a pandemic. And yet people still have the audacity to go and face the monument that his own people have made to him over a kick of a football.
Not only for their performances on the pitch, but for the maturity that they've shown off it. Most kids...
That's so, as well, to think, they're younger than me. They're literally younger than me.
Arsenal fans have known for a while that Saka is special, but now the whole it is just so sad to see the world knows as well that when the going gets tough, this is how England reacts. As Southgate clung on to a clearly devastated Saka, it felt a little bit like he was somehow passing the torch over. And now begins the metaphorical road to redemption for the youngster. Luckily enough, he and most of this squad are young enough and good enough to keep inspiring and perhaps go one step further next time.
And I want to say, I hope they do. I really do hope they do. Because I'm proud of England as well. I mean, how can you not be? Big shout out to Italy for going out and rightfully, I think, winning the game. England had their moments in there, but Italy were probably the better team on paper, and they rightfully ended up winning the Euros. It's a great story. And I actually kind of want to go more in depth on the Mancini story, but how can you not just absolutely appreciate the wonder of this England team? So yeah, that's the worst of England from Hugh Wizzy. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I know he's never probably ever going to even see my version of this video, or my video in general. You're an amazing storyteller. I could listen to you talk all day. I loved it. I love every bit of it. And it kind of helps me understand. That's the thing though, is that like watching videos like this, you understand the gravity of the situation even more. It helps you understand even more. And there's perspectives in that I didn't even think about because I don't live in England. Big shout out Hugh Wizzy. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made it this far, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. I know this is going to be quite a long video, but yeah, appreciate you guys so much. And we will be back with, I think, a video to kind of complement this, the best of England. Because for that month, what a country. Thank you guys so much for watching though. Peace.